This is Calvin CJ. Right now, we live right here.
Next.
We live right now and King of the South Show burnout competition. That was a Mustang you just seen. We about to get another contestant up in here. Don't forget, Tuesdays is the Thedeacontalks Raw with Jake. You will see some of this footage during that show Tuesday night at 9 o'clock.
What is the next one?
They supposed to already been ready.
It's done, you're ready. I need Jagger to the mustard for the grass. Okay, the police is coming.
So now he was here last year.
Oh yes, we'll see it.
After this one, we're gonna go to commercial break.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, move.
I think this is contributing to the delinquency of a minor right now. What y'all got going on? Oh my goodness. You know I'm gonna get this on tape. Hey, I need you to come this way and hit me. Just come this way and hit me. Hit the table and everything. Talking about. He is officially brainwashed. The only thing he's gonna do is drive fast cars. Commercial break.
Yeah, he smoked them tires, didn't he?
Boy, they all the way to the rim, bro.
Does that car have a line lock on it?
I don't know.
I'm thinking it had to because I didn't see any roll in the front. Like,
I got you.
but yeah, he smoked the shit out of them tires for woo. I heard them tires. You could hear them pop. The first one popped, and the second one popped.
Yeah. But hello everybody. I see you, Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
We right now this is Thedeacontalks Raw with Jake. We're gonna be reacting to some clips today. I want to thank Crystal Beyond Labels, Metro Conservative Media, Pop Politics, and those guys, Soldier of Finance, and also Diamond Dave and Chaotic Truth, who's let some trolls mess his channel up. So hopefully he'll learn his lesson. And
the trolls got him.
People alone, you know. But right now, we're gonna get into this. I don't know how to mute, you know, or do a delay with the words, but some of these videos are a little off the chain. The link is in the link to the studio is in the comments. in case you want to join us here. We're gonna start off with the one that's talked about the most. Let's start off with this one.
A high-profile murder case out of North Texas is now underway. 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony is accused in the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf at a track meet last year. Metcalf and Anthony, who were both 17 at the time, were competing in a Frisco ISD track meet on April the 2nd of 2025. Investigators say that the confrontation started when Metcalf told Anthony, who was sitting under the wrong school's team tent, to leave. Anthony has claimed he acted in self-defense. Anthony was released from jail after his bond was reduced to $250,000 from $1 million. He was placed under house arrest at his parents' home. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. Metcalf's twin brother Hunter accepted a posthumous diploma for Austin shortly after accepting his own, followed by a standing ovation.
Hunter Metcalf will accept the posthumous diploma in honor of his brother, Austin Metcalf.
A touching moment for the family and community there. The Metcalf family remains under a gag order connected to the ongoing criminal case and has not spoken publicly about the graduation ceremony.
And now you have Chris Cuomo talking to a legal expert. This is what he had to say.
First of all, the idea of race, I mean, you lived it with Zimmerman in a big way. There's so many people who believe that that's why Zimmerman wound up beating that case. But what do you see here? What are your questions? What will matter?
Oh, no, it's definitely a consideration. It always is, whether it's a sort of obvious what we're doing or the implicit one, because we all carry these implicit biases with us that perceive or impact how we perceive an event. Now, what's really it's going to come down to, and I disagree with the guy who said this is not a self-defense case yesterday. I think he said it. This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor. Was it an aggressive act for him to go up and say, get away from the tent? Did he do more than that? My understanding was maybe he touched him and put hands on him. Granted, that makes the decedent in this case maybe the initial aggressor. But you really still then have to look at whether or not Carmelo Anthony responded with appropriate force, he used a deadly weapon, and whether or not he was in imminent fear of great bodily injury. That's the standard in Texas and most every state to determine whether or not his actions, the way he perceived him, the way Carmelo Anthony perceived him when he took out that knife and stabbed him. The good part is if the decedent was the aggressor initially. The bad part for Carmelo, if in fact it's true that he sort of said, touch me and you'll see, because that's that aggression, that's that predisposition towards violence that doesn't have a place in a true self-defense case.
Interesting. Well, I'd have to disagree with that lawyer. I mean, self-defense, even here in Georgia, is a right. But if I punch you in the mouth, that doesn't give you a right to use lethal force on me. You know what I mean? If I punch you in the mouth and you fall down to the ground and I start kicking your head, then yeah, if you have a weapon, go ahead and use it at that point, because getting kicked in the head could absolutely be fatal.
That's right.
And I think it's pretty. I'm only speculating here, but I do believe the evidence will point that he did say, touch me and see what happens. Again, you can't do that in a self-defense case. You know what I mean? Now, what you could say if if they have a baseball bat or something and they're coming at you because they have a lethal weapon, you could say, stop, I'm armed, back off, leave me alone. You could do that because they have a lethal weapon. And you have a duty to warn them, say, hey, don't hit me because I'm armed. You hit me with a weapon that could be lethal, you're going to end up getting shot. So I'd have to disagree with the lawyer on that this isn't a self-defense case. I think it's really unfortunate. Like, for such a squabble, really, because he sat under a tent. Was it necessary for the Metcalf to go up and say something to him? Probably wasn't his place. He probably could have got like his coach or another adult to address the issue. Um, but again, these are childhood squabbers that we had when we were kids, and we handled our business. Nobody got permanently injured. Maybe a black eye for a couple weeks, but that was it. The propensity for children to use straight up violence right away is getting out of hand.
Yeah. I just want to answer Deb's question. Actually, they were all at a joint track meet. He was just on the wrong side of the field underneath another team's tent, and the brothers asked him to leave. He wouldn't, so they shoved him a little bit to push him from underneath the tent, and that's when he reached for his bag and grabbed a knife. Um, what people don't know about the case is that if you do research into Carmelo Anthony's um, school history, he has a propensity of being violent. He
And that
was.
will definitely come up in the courthouse.
It's
It
definitely
will.
going to come up. He's been suspended a couple of times in high school for fighting.
And the GoFundMe that his parents put up is almost what I would say blatant fraud, because this
Mhm.
was supposed to be money that they were used for his defense, and they went out and bought a brand new Cadillac. This
And
vehicle was it was $225,000 vehicle. Like, come on, what do you need a $225,000 vehicle when your son is facing life in prison?
I think the that was the price of the house.
No, that was the price of the Cadillac.
What?
Yeah, the house was 400 and some thousand.
Yeah.
And they
See,
don't even own the house.
no.
They only rented it they leased it basically for
Right.
$400,000. Like, they
That,
don't even own it. Well, it's not even a liquid asset that you could fall back on later.
right. Right.
What is that? Why would you do that? And they keep bumping up the GoFundMe amount, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's really unfortunate. Uh, but at the end of the day, we got to let the court process do its thing.
Yeah.
Um, if he's guilty, hopefully, even if he's guilty, we had when George Floyd was killed, uh,
Hmm.
those cops were put in jail, and the autopsy on George Floyd was he died from a drug overdose. He would have died anyway, regardless if police touched him from an overdose. And that guy's in jail for life. So, juries can be swayed. You can get a bad apple in there that can, end it in a hung jury or.
The public basically, the police officers were tried by the public and not a
Yes.
jury. They everything was tainted in that case.
I don't even know what the Asian officer's name was.
Right.
He was found guilty too, but that guy was only a trainee officer. He'd
Yeah,
only been on the,
yeah, he was in training. Chauvin was training him,
he'd
and
only
his
been on the
whole
force
thing.
for 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and
like
he's locked up now.
and then when they showed when you actually look at the video and even photos, Derek Chauvin's knee is on his shoulder blades, not on his neck, because that as a CO we are taught that technique.
Yes, yes.
Okay, um, once we get a prisoner to
You do have to be certified to do these techniques. If you're not
right,
certified, you can't do them.
you
We even have chokeholds that we can do
yeah you
if
can
necessary.
right.
And a
So
chokehold can, you can break someone's neck in some
and
of these chokeholds if you're not careful.
in training, I every time we had those trainings, I would always bring it up. I would
Yeah.
always bring it up as far
Mhm.
as basically the positioning of the person that you have the chokehold on, and they show you if they're really too violent or they're just being, you know, too aggressive. You go to the ground a little quickly, and you would hear the pop of the neck in that
Yes.
chokehold. Chokehold. And so, but like I said, the whole objective is to get you under strength, to keep you down, and then calm the whole situation down. But in this Anthony case, I seen one guy, he posted a whole video where he lied completely. And he was like, I was there, my daughter was over there, and them boys was jumping on him. And I'm like, jumping on him? They was jumping him, and that's when he pulled out the knife. I'm like, really? So,
Oh,
and that got debunked real fast. But there is video because everybody had phones that was there. There is video that they refused to show the public, and so but some of that video is going to be brought out in the trial also. I
well, there was also a story that today, I guess a friend of the family was taking pictures of the jurors.
yeah, I heard
Uh,
that.
what crazy! Like you're. There's only one reason you're taking pictures of these people, and that is to use
Yep,
it to intimidate them.
that's it.
There
That's
is no other reason. And like, don't underestimate the power of propaganda, okay? Because like Joseph Goebbels in World War II, the left is very good at it.
mm-hmm.
They are very good at it because you say it enough times, and you take things out of context. You show half a video, like when that lady got shot by the ICE agents for hitting him. Uh,
Right,
they didn't show the whole video, okay? So if you looked at the video from their perspective, the one they wanted you to see,
right.
yeah, it looked like an unjustified killing. But then
Mm-hmm.
when you get the body camera don't lie. And that's what's crazy. The left 10 years ago fought tooth and nail to get
Yep.
body cams on
Everybody got to
police.
have a body cam. Yep.
Now they hate them because every time we have a situation like this, the body cam comes out, and guess what? The officer was justified.
Yep.
They would have been better off if they wanted to hate on cops. They would have been better off not to put the body cams on them.
But
Because in the case of that lady being shot, he might likely would have went to jail without that body camera footage.
yep, you're right. So, but right now, we'll stay abreast of what's going on. This trial probably take about 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So next Tuesday we'll
Well, that's even if they get through jury selection within a week or two. Like this
They
is a
might
big case, so it could take. I wouldn't be shocked to see a month in jury
I think
selection.
they said it was like 500 people showing up in
Yeah,
the jury pool. I'm like, 100? Yeah, it's a whole lot of people. That's crazy.
that's a lot. Yeah, but it's a very high profile case, and you know, uh, another young man's life is in jeopardy. You know, whether or not he deserved it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna jump over to the next subject. Check this out. What am I doing? Uh,
You're kind of right there, Deborah. There's been several court cases where lawyers are drafting legal responses using AI and citing cases that don't even exist.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, imagine you paying thousands of dollars for a lawyer and they do some stuff like that. I'd be upset.
Wow. All right, this next video, the language is rough. However, I know this guy. He's been on Just the Guys podcast. He's going off on Democrats. Check this out.
Unless you are willing to square the circle that the Democrats have caused, where it is somehow Jim Crow 2.0 to have a national voter ID while replacing the black vote with illegal aliens. I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about Trump being a racist until you acknowledge that the 14th Amendment was, in fact, written only for the newly free slaves after the Civil War, and that it has been abused by Democrats to keep the illegal immigration train going for cheap labor and new votes. I don't want to hear shit. about Trump being racist. Until Kathy Hochul apologizes for her 2024 statement that black kids in the South Bronx do not know what a computer is, and her statement in a black church the following year, where she told all of the all the congregants, not to spend their little tax rebate check at the liquor store. I don't want to hear a thing about Donald Trump being a supposed racist until you are ready to admit how racist it was for Kamala Harris to be put in front of black people like she was some type of fucking savior after 14 million Democrat voters were disenfranchised after the party shunted Joe Biden to put her in. Until you are ready to admit that sticking an Indian woman who only claimed her Jamaican heritage when she wanted to get marijuana legislation passed, then telling black folk, here niggas, vote for this. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about Donald Trump being a racist.
I got another clip of.
Gracious. Gracious.
Black patriots fought and bled on the battlefields of the American Revolution, and they really did. When you read the history, what they gave up. They gave everything to smash the chains of slavery and preserve our nation, and they did it with incredible bravery. They helped win the Wild West, tamed the skies, and saved freedom in the Second World War. They're warriors. From the very beginning, black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world. So true. Thank you. We thank you.
Man, I just, but they wouldn't. I don't even know. I don't know what to say because people just are blind to facts. They're blind.
It's amazing. This guy comes down the elevator in 2015, said, "I'm running for president," and now
And then
he's
instantly hated.
Oh my goodness!
Nobody heard anything from Trump in the news really before he became run for president. I should say, nobody really gave a shit about the guy. He comes out and says, "I'm going to run against Hillary." Everybody loses their marbles over this. Instantly, he's the bad guy, and the hate has never stopped. Over a decade, in multiple assassination attempts, this man is still standing.
Amazing.
He even flew an African boy out of the country to get surgery using his own jet.
Wow.
So the fact that they can call him racist is kind of crazy.
Look, they have to do that so people won't vote for him.
It's propaganda, man. The left is really good at propaganda. The problem with the right is when Republicans get power, we don't capitalize on it. We don't capitalize on our power like the left do. When the left grab power, they capitalize. I'll give them that. They move fast. Republicans, they sit on their asses and barely get stuff moving. The left doesn't, and the Republican Party needs to start using the power and assets that they're gaining just as aggressively as the left, because our children today are messed up. They're messed up, and I don't think children should be allowed to be using social media at all. I think it's terrible.
I get you.
I grew up in the 2000s, so we had MySpace and stuff like that. But even back then, I could see hints of mental illness from social media because people were like, "Oh, I got to check my Facebook, see how many more people like who's my number one friend," and it started then. It started then. And now it's even more prevalent because you have it in a phone. Your phone's literally a computer. So for Kathy Hutchell to say that a black kid doesn't know what a computer is absolutely absurd. Absolutely. Even you could ask a 90-year-old person what a computer is. They might not know how to use one, but they know what it is.
Yeah. Well, shoot, 9-year-olds. You got 4-year-olds playing on tablets.
You,
3-year-olds playing on tablets. They know. Oh, boy, these people crazy.
yeah. I dated a girl a couple years ago, before like maybe 10 years ago, and her kid was 6 years old, but he could do programming on a computer. He was doing Python scripting at 6 years old. Now, granted, that's a really good skill, but
Mhm.
normal 6-year-olds don't. When I was growing up, normal 6 years olds weren't messing around on a computer. You know, good on the kid because he's learning a skill real early on. He's probably going to excel at it. But the fact is, I think children are being exposed to computers and social media way too quick, and it's rotting their minds. You're getting rot.
I feel you. And here's the thing: they try to put all these child protective, devices, in for parents, but they know how to get around that.
Well, yeah, it's parents aren't being parents anymore. You know, just the other day in the Heinz page, someone made a thing, and they said, "Can someone come talk to my kid because they're being so bad?" And I'm like, "Beat their ass like it's 1995." Because that's all I had to, if I was out of line when I was younger, I got my butt whooped. And I knew. And I thought more than once before I did something, like, if I do this and I get caught, I'm getting a whooping. There is nothing I'm going to do to avoid that. Do I really want to take the chance of getting a whooping?
Mm.
You know what I mean? But today, there's no consequences for kids. There's not. They can go out and rob, and they know that they won't go to jail because we don't really lock up. Well, we do here in Georgia, but in California, they let them go same day. Then back into they'll let them go, and an hour later they'll be in another store stealing.
Mm.
There's no.
Yeah, yeah. Deb says the left doesn't even understand what they're fighting for.
No, they don't. They really don't. Uh, like when I lived in Harrisburg in Pennsylvania, everything was locked up. Like if you live, like it's a I lived in what you would call a ghetto. I was probably one of 3 white people out of thousands of black people. But you go to the store, everything's locked up. Go to the gas station, there's a bulletproof screen in front of the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Then you come.
I've been through Harrisburg.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, but then you come to somewhere rural like this out here in Hinesville, Little Wissy.
Mm-hmm.
None of it's locked up. You know what I mean? Like we don't have things behind. We don't bulletproof glass and stuff. And there's a reason we don't have the crime that those cities do.
Right.
And why do they got the crime? Because they're Democrat led. They don't really enforce the laws that they have.
Mm-hmm. Man, it like I said, it's crazy.
People think, I used to do history tours at the prison that I worked at, and
okay,
and people would come in and be like, "Oh, well, the history of this place is terrible. They treated the criminals terribly. You weren't allowed to talk in there in the 1860s. You went to jail, you weren't allowed to talk. They let you out of your cell. You went to work. You didn't say anything the whole time you worked, and you went back to your cell, and you weren't allowed to talk.
That's right.
Other than to the guards, or when they held church services, they had like a Sunday school thing that you could talk. and ask questions to the whoever's the minister was. But this was in the 1860s. Now prisoners think they're so oppressed. Could you imagine if we put them in the same conditions that they were back then? Like there was no rules back then. If you talked, a guard would come in there and beat the heck out of you,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't nothing nobody was going to do about it. And a lot of times they were beat to death.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So people don't understand how good they have it today, especially in the prison system. I mean, you got TVs, radios. A lot of places have iPads now. Like,
yeah, they do got iPads. I was there when they introduced them to the prison.
But yeah, the left doesn't know what they're fighting for. They're useful idiots, because if you look at how Stalin got to power, he used the left.
Right.
And then when he got the power, he had the Great Purge. He started killing all the professors and all the leading minds because they were extremist leftists, and he knew if he didn't get rid of them, he would have to fight them.
Wow.
Because the left is so good at propping up stuff, but once their usefulness is done, they are thrown away. This happened with Mao in China. It happened in North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. You know, the power of propaganda and is not to be trifled with. And it goes both ways. Like, propaganda is a right thing and a left thing. We both have it.
Right.
But the left is much more louder with it, and they're more effective with it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, and they're not willing. They're willing to be violent. That's the part that gets me. I'm like, you're upset about police brutality. You inciting the police to be violent.
Well, you know, I was watching Facebook today, and sorry, burping here. They had people about the Camilla Anthony case, and they're like, well, if he's found guilty, I'm going to go out and start laying out white people. And I'm thinking, what is that going to do? All you're going to do is solidify the true racist minds that you are what they say you are.
That's right.
You're doing nothing but to strengthen the stereotypes that are tying you down. And it's like I tell a lot of people, is like, we have stereotypes for a reason. Okay, if you're a woman and you're walking in a dark street and you see a sketchy dude in the alleyway, you think she's gonna walk down there, or is she gonna walk the other way? She's stereotyping that guy. She's like, oh, I don't know, he gave me weird vibes. He might be a rapist. I'm gonna go the other way. But stereotypes are normal, and it's not really a stereotype if it's true.
Right.
Then it becomes an unfortunate fact. It's unfortunate that it has to be a truth. That people have to think this way. It's terrible. It's terrible. But everybody uses stereotypes. Anybody that says they don't is lying to you. It's part of our human survival technique. Like, when we see a dangerous animal, we're stereotyping that animal. We're like, that's a dangerous animal. I'm gonna stay away.
Right. Right.
If we didn't have this instinct, we probably wouldn't be where we are today.
I got you.
But I agree. I will say that some stereotypes do nothing but harm, and it's best to stay away from them. But at the same time, they might not. Even the harmful ones might not be untruthful. You know what I mean? But it serves no good to use them against people. And I just noticed your hat, Gulf of America. That had people's panic attacks for a while. Man.
Yeah. Let me see. I got this from the Hodge twins. From their store.
I always wanted to see Charlie Kirk in person. Never got.
Man, who didn't?
That man, he was a good guy. I don't care what anybody says. He was a good guy, and he was a religious man too. But he could have a civil conversation with a blue-haired person and be respectful of them.
That's right.
Even when they were absolutely ugly to him.
Yeah, I got another clip for you. Tell me what you think about this one. this is what my podcast friends, one of my podcast friends, Crystal Beyond Labels. This video is going. No, this ain't her. Never mind. Different one. Let's do this one right here. She's going viral. Remember, everybody voted. What was that, last Tuesday?
Yes.
She's going viral with this video she did. Check this out.
Now, this is absolutely hilarious. Now, since Democrats have said that, black people's rights to vote have been taken away, this black lady recently went to vote, and this is how it went. Check it out.
So we're about to do something. We're going to attempt to do something that we hopefully don't get in trouble for, because we're about to go vote. So apparently they took away our voting rights. So let me see what happens. So we've just pulled up to my voting place. I don't think I can record in there, but I definitely can let y'all know if I get a sticker. So I just finished voting. I guess it's not illegal. I still have my voting rights. I guess that was a lie, wasn't it? Just finished. So here is my voting sticker. My mom and my sister just finished voting, and Jim Crow didn't come and require a poll tax from us. So I think we still have our voting rights. Crazy thing, there were other black people there voting, and they all had IDs to present. So where exactly was Jim Crow 2.0?
When they said they took my voting rights away, I was like, how? There is no way they can do that without a constitutional amendment, and the right and the left would be opposed to it.
Basically.
That's the one. If any group tried to come in there, third party tried to come in and said, let's take the voting rights away from black people and women, left and right would be like, absolutely not.
Right.
This Jim Crow stuff's out of hand. And what really nags me is the Democrats are the ones that brought up Jim Crow. They're the ones. Jim Crow was them.
It seems as though that they're bringing up everything that's them and trying to put it on the GOP, and it's not sticking.
Well, it's like when they call us fascists and Nazis.
Right.
Who's really doing the fascist and Nazi things?
There you go.
Who's the one that says, if you vote Republican, I will find you and hurt you?
Yeah.
The Nazis did that. The brown shirts did that. Germany technically had free voting before Hitler came in. But if you went and voted for someone other than Hitler, they would beat the crap out of you.
That's right.
So a lot of people voted for Hitler out of fear. Like, nobody wants to get injured seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand the left, man. I can't relate to them at all.
Wow.
None of them, they don't understand. They don't even understand their own history. They've been so brainwashed. Like, the left has done such a good job at propaganda.
Well, and here's the thing. When you go to school, K through 12 and even college, the whole objective of school is to teach you to read, write, and do arithmetic, and to basically challenge your mind, challenge your thinking. That's the whole purpose of school. Not everything cookie cutter, not to indoctrinate you, but to present the history as it is and let you make a decision after you read it.
Like, I had an argument with a black guy, and he said that the light bulb and all this was invented by black people, and he said that black people are the true Native Americans of the United States, and England was actually ruled by black people in the Middle Ages. And I'm like, bro, stop. Stop. Your delusions are too much for me. Okay.
No, but what he might have been implying that the Muslims during the Middle Ages conquered.
No. He said that, like, the kings and queens of England were black.
What? Yeah,
and we just changed them in paintings to whitewash them. And I'm like, bro, you need to stop because you're making my brain itch. You know what I mean? Like, genetics don't lie.
On the itch right now. What you talking about?
Genetics don't
all you
lie.
have to do, here's the deal. All you have to do is ask him, where did you read this? How old is that book again? Yeah, I think you need to stop reading books that are less than 100 years old about what happened across the pond.
Well, also, you know, I tried to cite a study for him that said Africans in Africa are their IQs are much lower than white people's in general. Okay, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
And here's the other thing. The other thing that my uncle, we did a show and he talked about this in reference to the three sons, Noah's three sons, which talent each son left the ark with. And I think it's Cush who came to Africa, and basically that's how Africa got repopulated. But the tool or the skill that he had was not a skill or tool for building.
Right.
It just wasn't. And the other son who stayed up into and went to what was that, the UK and parts of Asia, and you had the one son that just stayed put from in Turkey.
Yeah.
And his descendants are in the Asia Minor area. What you got to understand is Noah cursed one son. He and basically you get what you get.
Well, it was done. They know why that the Africans have lower IQ in those regions, and it's due to inbreeding.
Right.
Do you ever look at a Somali and you notice something a little suspicious about all Somalis?
Everybody looked all the
I
same.
can look at you and I can differentiate you from a Somali like that.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
you know it's not that hard. And another thing is like that guy that I was arguing with. I said, listen, if we stole all your inventions, okay, then how comes you have mud huts in Africa?
In Africa. Right.
He's like, oh, you stole our technology and you killed everybody that knew anything. And I said, okay, so we've for 4,000 or 5,000 years we've held you down. That makes no sense. Egypt was a successful empire.
Yeah,
and they're not African. In a lot of Egypt is not an African like sub-Saharan African. Okay,
they are sub-Saharan, but they are African.
They are African, but they're not Black African. There's a big difference. They're more Mediterranean. They're right there. They're kind of Mediterranean, but they had a successful empire.
That's right.
And if you look at it's the same thing with Indians here in the United States.
Yep. Yeah.
They didn't know what the hell a wheel was until the white man showed up. Okay? They were the Indians here in North America were in the same level of technology that Africa was. Very similar, using hide shields, bows and arrows, spears. They didn't use wheels. Like, come on. Come on.
It's just that. And then
Somalians look like aliens, Deborah said. Oh. Aliens are real. Did you see Trump's new website?
No.
Oh, it's like aliens.com or aliens.gov or something.
Like releasing some unclassifying some of the documentation from hopefully from Area 51 and Roswell.
Yeah. But the website that it's like aliens.gov. People are like, oh, he's gonna announce aliens are real, but here it's basically just how to report illegal aliens. You know what I mean? Like, what a troll! Like Trump does that all the time. He'll post like videos that are AI and little memes and stuff. He does things that normal people do, and that's what got him elected. I think in the first place, he doesn't talk like a politician. He doesn't act like a politician. If you're a retard, he will call you a retard to your face.
Right. He's a regular. He's a regular human being.
Right.
He's a regular.
Is he
everyday type.
perfect? Is he perfect? No.
No.
Nobody was perfect.
He's not a savior. He's not
No.
a pastor. He's
not a Messiah. He's not the second
He's-
coming of Christ or anything weird like that.
He was just a guy who seen what was going on in the country that he loved, and he decided to do something about it. He had the money to be able to do something about it.
And that's a shame that and people need to realize our politics are governed by money. And our founding fathers didn't want that. They wanted normal, everyday people to be elected to office who weren't wealthy.
Well, or they might have been shopkeepers, but still,
right? But they weren't ultra wealthy.
The people sent them to Washington D.C. It wasn't really no voting going on. It was voting in like the districts or like in the states where there's Jake runs the garage down the road. He's smart. He's articulate. And he knows our needs and our wants here in the community. We're going to send Jake to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And then the church would come together and they would pray over you and send you to D.C.
Yeah, and maybe another church community said they wanted to elect someone else. So then it'd be the best of two people from the same community going to convince other people that they're the right ones. Now it's how many fundraisings you can make.
And all that craziness. They getting billions. Well, not the Democrats now, because after 2020,
they're going broke, boy.
Them donors was like, man, I don't know about.
Look at that debt that Kamala Harris left them.
How you spend $2 billion in 90 days?
That's crazy. That's
$2
crazy.
billion in 90. Well, where'd the money go? Oh, you paid everybody. You paid Oprah, Al Sharpton, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. You paid all these people for concerts or whatever.
And I think that was another big mistake that she did was she's paying Megan Thee Stallion to go on there and shake her booty. Again, if you're trying, it's a serious office. Okay? Right. Why are you paying for some tramp to go up there and act like that if you're trying to get into you're only doing that to ply to a certain demographic.
Right.
Who buy that in bulk. Okay. Mm-hmm. And music has been hypersexualized, and kids know the words to this stuff, and it's just like they don't even know what it is. Some of these songs are talking about oral sex and stuff, and the slang for it, and these kids will repeat it, and they're only like 4 or 5 years old. They don't even know what it is.
Right.
But they know the words to the song, and it's like this didn't happen when I was a kid. If we had a song like that back, like even like some 80s songs, if my grandmother heard me hearing them, she'd come over and slap the hell out of me.
What is this?
Yeah.
I remember I was watching a Kung Fu movie, and I was imitating, the characters and whatnot. And I went to do my hands like this, like, Buddha bless you.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's a different world, man. It's changing so fast. We're not ready for it.
Yeah. Look, I got another one. What you know about taxes?
I know. I pay them. That's what I know. I know they suck. I know I don't want the IRS breathing down my neck, so I pay them like a good American.
I got you. My man, Doc Rich, this lady, she's speaking, I guess, to some representatives, and she's wondering why she get taxed for everything. Check this out.
Now, this is absolutely on point. I want y'all to check out this next clip and let me know what you think about it, because she is speaking some facts and bringing all the receipts to back it up. Check it out.
Changing the map is one thing, but if President Trump is successful in fixing our census, making sure that only U.S. citizens are counted in the census, there will be little to no Democrat districts. But thank you for your time, Council. You can go ahead and call your next speaker. But honestly, we have no one to blame but ourselves. Because while the average voter politically gangbangs, repping red or blue, just to defend their idols, politicians who seem devoted to destruction. By 1945, income tax became the primary revenue source for the federal government. Morally bankrupt, considering that taxes were meant to be temporary. Yet in 2026, we have federal income tax, property tax, payroll tax, sales tax, business tax, fuel tax, food tax, car tax, all of the taxes, hotel tax if you own an Airbnb. And on top of all of that, the majority of the states in this great nation have state tax. We have dumped tea for less. And by the time I was born in the 90s, the tax code grew by thousands of pages. Once a nation founded on escaping the abuse of taxation now funds politicians, their salaries, their car notes, their vacations, their nonprofits, their mistresses, even. Extorting housing and income for foolishness, while claiming that we have a housing or income or rental crisis, is a bit ill-considered. I sit back and I wonder how we can have a governor waste millions of dollars on a temporary measure, convincing half of the people, 51% of the turnout, that 10 to 1 is a fair map. Attempting to strip you away from your First Amendment while literally attacking your Second Amendment. Suffice it to say, it doesn't matter if you identify as Democrat or Republican. We have dumped tea for less.
So,
sorry about that. I didn't. My phone was going off.
oh, okay.
Yeah, she's not wrong on some of it. We have dumped tea for
Less.
way less. But the times are much different. Like taxes, I believe that we need taxes. We need them at this point. Like to fund the military, though as big as it is, we can't do it without taxes. But some of the taxes are getting ridiculous. I think I want to say it was Maryland that just got that lady governor, but now she wants to tax you for going to the gym.
Virginia.
Yeah. So stuff like this is crazy. Like you talk about people getting healthy, but then you're going to tax them for it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you give them a credit? And like, it would be nice if we took subsidies and subsidized gyms, gave Americans a free gym membership. You know what I mean? Like, we do have a renting issue. I mean, why is your mortgage lower than? Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. You are technically owning your house and you're paying a mortgage note. So people who ain't, you're paying for a place to live and the service. You're paying for someone else's property, so they could charge what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Do some landlords go a little high with it? Yeah, you got a lot of crappy landlords out there that won't fix anything. In the rent, especially here in Hinesville, you know a couple landlords that I'm talking about, who definitely don't keep up on their property, but charge premiums for it. You know what I mean? Like I seen the
That's
other
right.
day, someone was renting a single wide trailer and they wanted $1,500 a month. $1,500 for a trailer.
Wow.
But somebody's going to pay.
Are you down here?
Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah, but somebody's going to end up paying it because they need a place to live. Now that is crazy to pay $1,500. That's like
I don't even pay that for the house that I'm renting.
That's crazy, man. $1,500 used to be able to get you a nice house with like maybe an attached garage with it and a nice big yard.
Yeah.
Like a 4 or 5 bedroom house. Now, if you want something like that, it's like $3,400. Crazy.
It is crazy. I see Sugar Shane has popped in. What's up, big guy? I hope he was funny tonight. Oh man, it's amazing how things work. It's amazing how when I tell people that they're volunteering to pay taxes, they're like, "How you figure that?" I says, "You can't do nothing about the sales tax at all. You can't. However, you can do something about the income tax, and all it is being educated."
Yeah, yeah. You know, and this is the thing that I tell most people, and it's just like if you do your taxes every year and you're getting a refund, then you're
Mhm.
overpaying your taxes in the beginning. Okay, that isn't free money. They're not giving you free money. That's your money
Right,
that you overpaid into it to begin with. Now, some
right.
people like the aspect of getting a refund check every year because they kind of use it as the end of the year savings thing. They'll throw it all into a savings account or whatever, and that's fine too. But understand when you get a refund, you're already you're overpaying them.
I
Go
got you.
hire yourself a tax person and figure out what you need to actually owe them if you want to keep money in your pocket year long.
Right, right. I mean, I haven't paid any income tax since 2010.
And I think a lot of people don't realize too, like if you drive to work and your
Mhm.
car is your primary vehicle, any
Right.
maintenance that you pay for that car, all your gas that you use for that car, your tires that you got to buy, you can get that taken off.
You can write it off.
You can write that off. You save your receipts for your gas all year long. If you use that vehicle primarily for work,
Yep.
save your gas receipts. That's a whole year's worth of gas that you're going to write off. You'll be amazed. Sometimes you'll actually, even if you have your taxes done correctly,
Yep.
and then you save all your gas receipts and stuff like that, and you write it off, and you do it right, because then
Mhm.
if you don't, and they catch you and they audit you, you better be right. But if you do it right, they'll still owe you money.
That's right. That's right.
Work clothes, anything that has to do with your work. You can even do your food and your hotel lodging if it's work related.
Hmm.
A lot of money out there that most people in America just throw away. They, they don't like. I learned this stuff in school when I was going to school. They don't teach this stuff in school. Kids are getting out of school and they're like, "Well, how do I do my taxes?"
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. But
Like, balancing a checkbook and a bank account and doing your taxes was taught when I was in school. Not
same, here.
anymore. Not
Same.
anymore.
So, all right. So I graduated in 88, 89. When did you graduate?
2015.
Cheese and crackers. Wow. I have a son older than you and a daughter.
Well, June 5th, I'll be 40. So,
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
don't say it like that. It makes it sound so much worse. Jeez.
What's up, Shane?
Same poop, different scoop.
Yeah, we were I was reacting to some clips. Basically what was in the news this past week. We talked about the Anthony case trial that's coming up right now.
Oh man, that Houston shit.
1970. Did you graduate in 1973, Deborah? Is that what she's saying?
Did she say that?
You graduated in 1973.
Oh, I look good for my age,
shit.
don't I? No, not me, Deborah.
Deborah says she graduated in 73.
Man, could you imagine being like graduating in 73? You were 3 then, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Man,
Hell, I was born in 84.
I was born in 86, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you're an old timer. You're OG.
I am working there. I'm working my way there, trust.
Hey,
nobody gets out alive, man. Nobody gets out alive.
My daughter.
No, you still got death tax. That's always a good tax,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you're gonna pay it when you die, but there's a death tax.
Oh man, that New York has that death tax stuff.
Well, they take it from your
All
whatever you have.
Say it again, Shane.
All of them have death taxes. All 50.
All 50 states. What?
Yeah. Yeah, you even have to pay taxes on the pine box they put you in. You pay taxes on the crematory services too.
Yeah. You burn me up, I still got to pay tax on that. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And we broke away from United Kingdom, Britain,
right?
Because they had the audacity to charge us 3% tax.
Right.
And look at what we're doing now. What are we at? Like 22% tax?
Well,
No,
you
you
got
got 28% tax federal, 4% state, but then depending on your state, I think California is the highest at 12%.
California, I wouldn't want to live there.
and then you have
New
your
York,
local taxes.
yeah, then you got low.
And don't forget the locals.
Yeah, county
We
tax.
all
That's
about the local
bullshit.
taxes. Yeah.
No,
And then
I'm paying county taxes right now. I don't know why.
But
you have a house though. That's probably it.
But yeah, but if I had an apartment, I'd still have to pay the same thing.
Say
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So your check has a separate line, state and county taxes.
No. That's I mean, I don't give a shit where you work. If you work in that township, you got to pay them taxes.
What state do you live in?
I live in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Downtown
Got
Cincinnati,
family in Cincinnati.
which is nice because it's a sanctuary city.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all-
You know, they got to pay for the illegals
all the
somehow.
homeless people.
How do you like paying for other people's bills, man?
It's wonderful actually because I want to beat I just want to punch them right in the throat, but I cannot do that legally.
But what I was going to say about the 3% tax back in the revolutionary times, you also have to take into account what has inflation done to this country. You know,
Right.
Well, inflation is going down.
But I'm talking like early back in 1776, for instance, you could buy your family a meal for 50 cents for a week.
Probably less than that. It's probably like a dime.
Yeah,
Right.
probably a dime.
Yeah, but it was a lot of money back then. You know,
Mhm.
in 1865, if you had $5,000, you basically had
1776. We were growing our own food. We were feeding ourselves.
But
and
we
being
were still importing stuff, like especially on the port cities.
Yeah, and that's
We would
where
be-
the 3% tax came in from.
Yeah.
Britain.
But in
Right.
1865, if you had $5,000, it would have been worth equivalent to $30,000 today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
If
you
you-
look at the Model T Ford when it first came out, it was a $250 car.
that was in
in
1915.
Yeah,
Right.
in the 1915s,
Guess what?
$250 car. But that would be a year's wages for some people.
But
Yeah,
wait a
more
minute
than that
now.
probably.
Yeah.
Hold on. Guess what
We'll
it's
wait
worth now?
years more. Go ahead.
That model, if you can find a Model T running, you
Right
get,
now,
yes.
you got the wood rims on that guy, and
You can find. I know a guy selling a Model T right now. Runs and drives, needs restored, but it runs and drives. 15,000.
15,000.
15,000. One fully restored, you could probably buy for 35,000.
It's got about. I think there's about.
They're
4
not.
horsepower.
They're not
But-
overly expensive cars. They're not overly expensive cars. They're not even in the sense of things super rare.
Mm-hmm.
Just
They
the
kept
really, what gives cars of that era value is provenance. Who
They
owned it?
kept the Model T until 1940, and then
Right.
they came out.
But
Yeah.
if you had a car that was owned by someone famous that was a Model T, then you got money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you got a regular Joe's, nobody know who, you can't even trace back the original owner to it.
Man, my first
maybe
car was
15, 20.
65 Mustang. I got it for $400. That's back when you could buy cars back in the day when they were like running.
I sold a Geo Metro today, a 95 Geo Metro with over
Metro? Oh, that's even worse.
with over 1 million miles on the body.
That's like one of those trackers.
Yeah. I just sold. The car had over 1 million miles on it, 3 engine rebuilds, 2 transmissions, and I sold it for $1,000. I originally bought that car for $300.
Yeah, my buddy.
But that just shows you the price of cars. You even used cars right now is crazy. I got $1,000 for a 3-cylinder. The car only has 35 horsepower.
3-cylinder. What the hell is that 3-cylinder?
It's 35. It's 35 horsepower. That's it, baby. That's all you get.
Inline 3.
Yeah, inline 3. It's 0 to 60 eventually.
Oh my god! You probably topped out at 67 miles an hour. In that
it would do 85, but it was screaming. the tax buried and it's screaming, but it would do 85. I took it on 95 all the time when I used to drive all the way up.
I had inline 6 on my Mustang. I switched it out for 289, but yeah, it was a 200 inline 6.
Yeah,
Man.
my wife has a Mustang, and we're LS swapping it. It's going to be Ford Tough with Chevy stuff.
That's
No, I got screwed over. I just had to buy a new car.
Well,
Yeah.
we did think about it, CJ. We did think about it, and she originally wanted to put a Coyote in it, but I'm
Okay.
like,
I don't like Coyotes.
building a Coyote is so much more expensive than an LS.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like 70% more. It's like 70% more to build a Coyote, and an
Wow.
LS will put out more power. And just if you take a baseline LS and a baseline Coyote, baseline LS will beat it.
Dude. That's what I did.
And LS parts are cheap and they're available. You can go. You could build an LS 6.0, 6.2 to put out 1,500 horsepower all day long. Easy.
Yeah. I just bought a new car, and that's great.
I won't buy a
And
new car.
I did not get what I wanted out of this situation.
No. You got a handful of plastic and computers that's going to let you down.
That's exactly what happened. I wanted to get like a Tahoe, Subaru, something like a big SUV.
Right.
And no, I got a fucking Kia.
So you're in a Kia?
It's inline 4.
What?
And yeah. I don't think I could tow anything with it.
So I have
that's what the wife wanted. And that's
we got a Colorado from up where CJ works.
Colorado's not bad. That's pretty much like the new S10.
It's a 5-cylinder though.
5-cylinder, but I always see it on Facebook. People are like, don't go there. They sell our titled cars. I'm like, well, first off, if you're not checking the car before you buy it, okay, and you're not asking the right questions, you're a dummy, okay. First off,
I got mine on sale.
The vehicle we got from you guys has been fine, perfectly fine. I have no complaints about it. So.
I need you to do a Google review. One guy didn't even buy a car from us and gave us a bad review.
What the hell is that? That's the thing. Like,
the thing about review, there was no positive reviews anybody gives.
I looked under, but when we were looking at the truck, I looked underneath of it. I crawled underneath it. I looked everywhere.
Right.
Opened the hood up. I said, I'm okay with buying it, but find out when we can test drive it because,
Right.
That's when I'm going to know, like, if it's going to make a sound or something. I'm going to know. I'm a car guy, And there was another Colorado there too. It was a little rougher than this one.
I did have two. I had
It was a blue one, I think.
Colorado.
Yeah, but the other one was a little bit rougher.
I miss the old box trucks from like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
That truck has a siren in it.
What?
Oh, an old cop car?
No, I don't know what the truck used to be, but it has a siren in it. It has a siren on the front of it, like right in front of the radiator.
Don't blast that shit.
I've never
get pulled over.
It's not hooked up, but we're curious to see what kind of, maybe it was a fire department truck or something. I don't know what it was. But it's also got the flashing lights on the front too.
Do not put those on either.
But they're orange. They're orange flashing.
Trying to warn you now.
No, that's gotta be a medic or a firefighter truck.
Yeah, medic truck.
Or some kind of construction, like road construction truck or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
I've got a Ram 3500, and I've got the yellow lights on it. And I got one on my
yellow lights. Okay.
Yeah, that's just to let everybody know.
Blue and red, no. Don't do blue and red.
You cannot do red. You cannot do blue.
I don't think it was an ambulance, Deborah, because it's a pickup truck. So I was thinking maybe like a fire department or
it might be a construction truck because that's what.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was maybe
yellow, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe one of these days we'll hook up the siren and see what it sounds like.
Don't do that, dude. I have a siren in mine.
I'll do it in my back. I'll do it parked in the. I'll do it parked. I'll ring it right in my parking lot here. If you ain't driving it, they can't do anything. You can have flashing lights. You can have red and blues in your yard and not moving, but you can't use them when you're driving.
I would not go on the street with it though. I did 22 years ironworking, and I retired. I was union, so my 3500.
Hey, Amber.
Which is a good, nice little gas guzzler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the yellows.
I had a 76 Dodge.
I on bridges.
Yeah, I had a 76 Dodge Power Wagon before I moved down to Georgia.
Oh, that was sweet.
I had to leave it. I had to sell it in Pennsylvania because it got 4 miles per gallon. Had the 440 with crane cams, dual 4-barrel carburetor. Bro, it got where it wanted to go real fast, but it didn't last. You could, if I got on the highway and stomped on the gas, you could see the gas gauge go. Woo. You could watch that shit drain.
My Ram's diesel, so when I hit the gas, it just smokes it out.
But I had that. That
those
truck
behind me, I feel bad for. You know.
But I pulled a trailer with that truck.
Okay.
My buddy's like, that truck won't pull that trailer. I said, bet, get the chains. That truck just pulled that trailer, pulled it, didn't even care. But
I put what states you guys live in?
We live in Georgia, Little Wissy.
Both in Georgia.
Yeah, he's in Hinesville. I'm in the Little Wissy, kind of same area.
I was in Valdosta, right on the.
I've been there. Yeah, that's a nice place out there.
Yeah, well, I was an Air Force brat, so we could travel.
I got you.
Yeah, my dad was in the Army and then the Navy, so we moved around quite a bit.
I appreciate every serviceman or woman, whoever, you know.
I got you. Look, I'm trying to end the show, but I want to show you this last video. Y'all gonna like this. This is a Mopar. The whole bumper comes off. We're back.
Let's go back.
This vehicle last year caught on fire. So we trying to see what we gonna do today. Rubber all over the place. Oh, dang. The whole bumper came off. The whole bumper is off. Yeah, the whole bumper off. Cheese and crackers. I thought the cop car, I thought the police car was going to win, but the police car didn't lose that
much. I think the back tires are still on fire.
Yeah, I saw chunks flying. You know, you should have edited your video and had a Greta Thunberg come in and with her head and be like, "How dare you? How dare you treat our environment like this?"
Yeah, you're smoking up the environment.
How dare you?
He did overdo it. I'm surprised his rims were not glowing red.
No, listen. This is what these guys do. I showed at the beginning of the show, I showed a couple of other burnouts. They bring extra tires that they use to burn out in, take the stock ones off.
So that's what we call more Han.
We used to go to the junkyard and go to the junkyard up here on Tire Tuesdays and buy cheap.
Yeah, you go to the used tires. You go get like $30 used tires at the used tires
and smoke them. Yeah, you know, you don't
That's
care.
What I would do.
Take the good tires off, burn off some old ones, and then have fun.
That did look like it was involved in a demolition derby.
No, it looks like the kids got a hold of a crayon box and went to town.
Yeah. And like I said,
that's why they do that.
That guy does. He does it all the time.
See, but that's the fun thing about cars. It can look like crap, but it can be quick as heck. You know, you
Well, that's
can't
like
always
getting
judge
old.
them by the way they look, because I've seen some jalopy-looking cars that put down 10 seconds on the track, and you're like, okay, I
No,
wasn't
I
expecting
saw
that.
my buddy's got an LTD. Remember the old LTDs?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And he's got one that does 9 seconds.
That's when you get to
I mean,
you know,
but you
anything.
got so much room under the hood, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's
Once you
it.
get, yeah,
And
That's
you
it.
can walk in there and work on your engine. How much room there is.
that's how the Dodge was. You could open the hood up, and it's so as big as a 440 big block is, you would still be able to climb in there, sit down, and have your lunch, and still wrench. Good times, though. Good times.
Yes. That's
Well-
back when it's all like 3/4 of the car's like the front end.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like
Yeah,
old
those are nice
Cadillacs.
cars.
I remember we used to take the hoods
Oh,
off
yeah.
old Cadillacs and use them for sleds in the winter.
Wow.
Yeah, you can take one
You could
ATV.
fit 4 or
Yeah.
5 friends on that thing, man, and
Yeah.
that thing would go
Yeah,
flying.
we did that. We did that last year. We did that.
Mm.
I'm only 41 years old, so we did that.
Yeah.
I was the driver, not the rider.
Well, do you even drive that? Everybody's a rider on something like that. You don't control it. You just go with it.
No, I was
Good
trying
times,
to sling
though.
him off that mother. I was trying to sling him off that. I was taking the tightest turns I could.
Another thing we used to do is we used to take the big inner tubes that you go on the river with,
Right.
tie a rope to it, and then they'd tie a rope to my pickup truck. And then in the winter, I'd go in the when the ice hit the parking lots, start doing donuts with my truck, and then people would be flying off this tube at like 20 miles an hour and just
Wow.
going. Like they'd have helmets on and stuff, but they would be tossed, bro. And I'm surprised nobody seriously got hurt. We got a couple broken arms,
I
but
don't
that was
know how we haven't died yet.
Oh,
Guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
stupid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I also like when I do the inner tube thing. I like to take a rope and tie it to my inner tube, and I take a styrofoam cooler and I'll attach it to it
So you can
so
drink.
it floats.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
So my beer can be in there.
You know, you can get it. Yeah, but you know what? If Georgia Game Commission sees you and checks your cooler and sees you floating on the water with a beer, you're getting a DUI.
I don't know if you can do on a goddamn inner tube.
Hey, my
Not a
uncle,
motor vehicle.
my uncle got a DUI on his
On a lawnmower?
on his daughter's tricycle.
What?
This guy was
drove better.
This guy was a big guy. He wasn't a small guy, but when he got on this little tricycle, he looked like a big fat guy on a little tiny. Like the bike was made for like a 5-year-old. He got a DUI for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So just be careful.
No, I got a couple DUIs. They're fine.
No DUIs for me. But I thank you for having me on again, CJ.
No problem.
Always a trip.
Thanks, Shane, for coming on.
Always one love.
Nice to meet you, Shane.
All right, brother.
Always.
We'll
I got a
see
show at 11. I got to get back on stage.
I got you. I
That's
gotta go to
fine.
bed.
I'm gonna make fun of more women again.
Got you. Well, you know I gotta catch a flight. I gotta go. See you
All
guys.
right. It's CJ's bedtime. Good night,
Yeah.
folks.
At least internationally, traveled to
London, Paris, Tokyo, Japan, go to New York, LA, Chi-Town.